Yeah, Chris, this came off to me as like a Are You Afraid of the Dark episode or something.
Have you solely the good name of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Hey, how we doing, everybody? Welcome to Blood and Donuts. I am Tony.
And I'm Chris. What's up, everybody?
Chris and I, we went to the movies. I'm going to pop that picture up right here on YouTube. Here we go. This is a picture of us going to the movies. No, actually, let's put a video of us going to the movies. We went to the movies. Okay. First movie of the new year, Night Swim, a 2024 American supernatural horror film written and directed by Bryce McGuire in his feature directorial debut, based on the 2014 short film of that same name by McGuire and Rod Blackhurst. The film stars Wyatt Russell and Carrie Condon. Its plot follows a suburban family who discovers that their backyard swimming pool is haunted.
Uh-oh.
I you know what? That's actually a pretty scary theme. You know what I mean? Like, I had a pool growing up, and I remember like at night thinking that there's some creatures in there, or like you would see those videos of like snakes. You know, we're from Tennessee, so maybe like a snake got in there. I remember one night Mom was filling it up with and yet the hose was in there, that green hose, and I was swimming at night, and I could have I was like, "There's a snake!" Oh, it's the hose. It was the hose in there. But anyway, so I can see that'd be a scary thought, swimming at night. You know?
Yeah, I remember doing some night swimming. That was pretty fun back in the day. We'd jump in; it'd be cold as heck. It's like, dude, no, you go first. No, you go. Like we just jump in at the same time. Get it over with and have some good times swimming at night. But
absolutely,
definitely scary if you're by yourself, though.
So the premise of this movie, the pool's haunted. The pool drain, the water. We'll get to it at the end. It's
something's up with
something is up with this swimming pool, and Anyway, the budget's about $15 million on this. Well spent $15 million. You know what I mean? This is another Blumhouse production. I feel like every horror film nowadays is a Blumhouse production.
I feel like they could have gave that $15 million to Carrie Condon and been done with it.
Yeah,
because she was like the shining star of this movie. But
Carrie Condon did a great job. She the other actors like. There just wasn't much for them to do. Hey, dude, there was Ben Sinclair. He plays the pool technician, and he's on screen for about 3 minutes, and I laughed. I laughed out loud in the movie theater.
Yeah. He was great. He was the dry humor, smart ass guy.
Yeah.
He reminded me of us.
Yes.
The dry humor.
I like that. And he was leaning up on that on the diving board. And I don't know. He was just funny. I don't know. So like Wyatt Russell, who is the child of Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, better known as McCready from The Thing, you know. So he has a horror, he has it in his blood. So this is like his rite of passage, you know what I mean? It's like what he was born to do. No
wonder he was so dreamy. I mean, Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, I mean, gee whiz.
That's right.
I thought he was dreamy, but man, now I know why.
He was in 22 Jump Street, Cold in July. Lots of movies. Like Chris was saying, Carrie Condon, she plays Eve Waller. She plays the wife or the mother in this, and she's a highly decorated actress. Lots of awards. She was Stacy in Better Call Saul. Chris and I, like we said, we went to the movie theater. We went to the premiere. We went to the early premiere. It's actually premiered tonight, Friday, when we're recording this, but we went to the early premiere on Thursday. Us and about three other people.
Yeah, they let people with awesome podcasts and stuff, they let us go in first.
That's what I meant to say. They sent us some passes so we would go in and review this, and that's what we're doing right now. We watched this in about the best way that you can watch. We went all out. We're reclining seats. It was called the RPX. Is that what it was?
Yeah, the seats would vibrate on like heavy bass scenes and stuff. Yeah.
And I don't think it helped it much.
No, it sure didn't.
Yeah, Chris, this came off to me as like a Are You Afraid of the Dark episode or something.
Have you solely the good name of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
How about Goosebumps?
Thing.
How about at any point I thought the dun 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 was gonna pop up. And there were so many times where I looked over at you like this, like.
I remember you looked over and you said, "Is this directed by R.L. Stein?"
Yeah,
or something?
wait, did he write this? It seems very childish. It just seemed like we saw the PG-13 rating and we were like, it could be good. The Ring from 2002 was PG-13. That scared the hell out of me. That's a good movie.
Really?
You know what I mean?
That was PG-13?
Yes.
Oh, that's insane, dude. Yeah,
I might have to go back and look that up. Now that great. I said that, let me make sure. You go ahead.
You better look.
Yeah.
This movie is great for like young teens whose parents drop them off at the theater.
Yeah.
And they want like a good scare, and they're going to hold hands and share popcorn and get scared at stuff.
I would not. I don't know if I would recommend them go to the theater and see it. This seemed very straight to Peacock, straight to Netflix film.
Oh yeah,
to me
for sure. Yeah. That's just who this movie is for. Yeah. It's not for the scary movie connoisseur, if you will.
No. I'm gonna go ahead and give my rating. I guess I did pick this for us. I'm sorry. This is when we talked about 2024 and we saw that lineup of like really good scary movies that was coming out. This is one of them. There was a short story about this, a short, and that came out, a short, video that was directed by him, and it was pretty good, Creepy. It was you didn't know what was going to happen. This movie, it just never really popped. It never got scary. And even the scary elements of it were goofy. They were like not well done. Again, it seemed very childish. At the bottom of the pool at one point, it looked like Swamp Thing was down there. Mr. Waller here is he had MS, okay, and he was a baseball player. But my goodness, they wanted you to know that he was a baseball player, didn't they?
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Wow.
They really bad. I mean, they really hit that home, that he was a baseball player. I mean, I mean, like they would have these little sayings throughout the thing that where Chris and I would look at each other like this, like,
yeah.
She was like trying to speak to her boy and be like, "Hey, listen, you got to get on." I don't remember exactly what it was. You got to get out the dugout, and you really got to go up there, and you got to, sometimes we strike out. But you got to keep hitting, it was just like, it was goofy in that regard. I don't know. It just seemed like, it seemed like a Nickelodeon movie or something that belonged there at the end. So Mr. Russell turns, I guess I'm going to spoil it. Anyway, I don't know how to spoil it. Even the most tense parts, the ending even fell flat, and when you hear about why this pool is haunted, I literally just held my hands up like this. Like I was just like, "Are you?" I was like, "This is what they came up with." I
think our hands hit each other.
I would. Yeah, I would much rather just not even. I would rather just not know and it just be a haunted swimming pool than what they gave you for an answer for the swimming pool. So anyway, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 13 donuts. Again, just wait till this thing comes out on video if you really want to see this. If you're looking forward to it, an introduction to horror for like some kids or something, so this is not too, it's not going to be too scary or too much. I don't know. Again, if, it might cause a fear of water for children or something. I don't know how that goes, but it might be a good introductory film for a kid that you're trying to get into some horror or like a teenager or something like that. But it's not, if you like horror in any capacity, this is not it. You're not gonna enjoy it.
Here's what a jump scare looks like. It's like training.
There was 2 or 3 jump scares. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could see them from a mile away.
Absolutely.
You could see them from the third baseline. All right. Anyway, I did have a couple of quick facts, and then I'm going to give my pros and cons. The same guy who did the music for the Black Foam, Mark Corvin, also did this music.
Okay.
And the most enjoyable parts were like the montage where there's like a banger of a song and we're both sitting there head bobbing. Produced by Blumhouse. It's a Blumhouse. Pros, the CGI lady towards the end of the movie was good. The pool tech guy was a smartass with dry humor. We touched on that.
Loved him.
Another pro is that this family can hold their breath for tens of minutes at a time. It's great.
That's the truth.
Okay, cons. Tony.
Tens of minutes.
They killed a cat, Tony. That's my con. That's a big no for me.
May I say something? I saw with a cat, and you kind of said, they better not kill the cat. You like, I remember you saying that because you hate that.
Yeah.
You love Pet Cemetery, they killed the cat? Is it because they brought him back and that's okay?
Yeah, but it came back, Tony.
Right, I know. Well, that's a classic.
He came back.
They killed a cat. I mean, I get it.
But he came back.
But it's okay killing the little girl in the beginning. That's fine. But just the cats are off limits.
That's expected in a horror movie. Not a cat, not an innocent feline. And
kids are not innocent, Chris. Okay, I'm
that's
with
why
you.
Hocus Pocus sucks. Come at me.
I hate Hocus Pocus because Hocus Pocus sucks. It has nothing to do with the cats. Come at me, guys. I don't like Hocus Pocus. I put a spell on you.
I would say put a spell on you. They come on at us with that, and we'll have a discussion.
Right. I was watching Beetlejuice. I didn't need
lame.
Yeah.
You could see him coming from a mile away. You talked about the baseball. You only need to establish that once, not the whole freaking movie. Give me more monster and make it just one, not different ones.
Yeah.
The plot line didn't go anywhere, like you talked about, like the baseball hand gesture. Mm-hmm. I thought that was going to be like some move at the end that like saved their lives or something, but it just didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Tony, this is going to get a 2 out of 13 donuts for me. Drain this pool and don't go for this night swim. It was like a drama with some CGI weak ass jump scares in there.
Yes.
That's based around a pool. The swimming pool story could work if done properly.
Yeah.
They did it better in Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Tale of the Dead Man's Float.
That was yes, that was a good one.
Yep.
Man, you're right.
So go watch that instead of this.
Go watch it. Well, anyway, even though it's not the best horror film, we are going to go scene by scene, and we're going to spoil this thing. Even though this synopsis, we just kind of like pieced this thing together from things on the internet and things that we could remember as far as that goes. So there's not much out there right now. But if you haven't seen it and you're hoping to see it and you don't want to spoil it, don't watch this. I mean, don't watch this portion or listen to this portion. Pause it and come back to it. But here we go. Here come the spoils. In 1992, a young girl goes out to her family pool one night to retrieve a boat belonging to her terminally ill brother. While trying to get the boat, something in the pool pulls Rebecca underwater.
Keep this atmosphere and pace through the whole movie.
Yeah.
And you got a winner.
Yeah.
It's like you said, the opening scene, she's out there swimming in the water. And the only reason she looked out the window is because she like heard something in the pool, right?
Yeah.
And it's this little speedboat that I guess she wanted to get for her brother.
Yeah.
So she goes out there and it's like, it's creepy at night and stuff. And I think there might have been some creatures around the pool. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So multiple times throughout this movie, you would look up the person on screen, the actor or actress would look up, and through the water, somebody would be standing, somebody creepy or somebody who looked like your dad or looked like your mom or looked like somebody you know, but in a creepy state, and you would think that they'd standing there, and then you would come up out of the water and they would not be there, which is a creepy thought. I like that. I like that trope, Yeah. And so this little girl, I mean, she sees her little toy boat. It's like, it's out there in the pool. She tries to go get it. Some unseen force pushes her in, and she goes under for a minute. She comes back up. It's creepy. The light starts flickering. This happens a lot when the pool is active. So the light flickers. That's what it does. I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, she had her opportunity to get out of the pool. The boat floats to the bottom of the pool. Then all of a sudden it comes up and she's like, oh, I can get it now. She lets go of the edge and she drowns to death.
She gone.
Yeah. And it clearly says that this is 1992. Does it tell us what year we're in after this? I know they have cell phones and everything. You just assume it's present day?
present day. I would say it's in the present day.
Yeah, well, on here it says in the present day. But I remember watching it, and I was wondering because in his garage he had like an old school, not flat screen, but the old, like TVs we had when we were kids, like the old,
the CRT projection style TVs. Yeah.
Damn, a CRT. Dang. You got your terminology for televisions down, yeah. Anyway, so he had one of those in the garage. So oftentimes I was like, what year are we in? Is this 8 years later, or But she did have a cell phone at one point. So come to present day, the Waller family are seeking a new permanent residence after Ray Waller has been forced to retire from his baseball career due to illness. They purchased the former residence of the Fuller family. But Ray scratches his hand while working to clear out the pool. When the pool maintenance come to inspect it, they reveal that the pool is essentially self-sustaining, taking its water from an underground spring in the area. Ooh.
Is that a real thing in real life?
Happens all the time.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be. I have a swimming pool, and it's expensive as hell to keep water in that thing, so that would be great.
Yeah. But if you're thinking that Ray Waller is just going to be forgotten from the legend of baseball, don't you worry, because this movie will remind you in literally every other scene that he is a former baseball player.
Yes. Yeah, you would think that they would throw you some type of curve ball or something, to. Okay, I'm sorry. I like. There are this family's around looking for houses. He has a cane with him. You don't know what he has initially, but then later it's revealed that he has MS, which is a degenerative disease that affects all of your working motions and walking and everything. And so they go to it shows them at this apartment complex, and everything's handicapped in there. And and I guess they kind of talk about how since he's played for baseball, they move around from team to team. So they've had to uproot themselves so many times. And this time, they want something. They want the house. They want a place where they can like put some roots down and throw the baseball around in the backyard and all this stuff. And so they're just driving by, and they just happen to see this house with a sign in the yard, and they go there, and he kind of goes out to the pool, and he gets pulled in. He falls in, doesn't he, Chris?
Yeah, he's like reaching for. Is it a baseball?
Yeah, there's like there's a baseball in this nasty ass pool that hasn't been used in 30 years, which, by the way, after one season, a pool turns green. This one's like blue with a couple of leaves in it after 20 years, which I called bull crap on that. I was like, nope. My pool gets nasty. Yeah, whatever. So so he tries to pull this baseball out. He gets thrown in, but he sees like a better future for himself as he's like healthy or something.
I honestly thought his life was flashing before his eyes.
He's like hitting the ball. He's hitting the ball in a stadium as like a baseball player, and he's like in his mind, he's like, "Yeah, I need to get this dang house." And so it's assuming, I guess, that the evil is getting to him and it's calling him in. The evil in this swimming pool, right, Chris? So he spends more time. So they buy this house because actually his doctor recommends that he swim.
Yep.
So he's like, let's get this pool. Let's put down some roots. You're about to, be a teacher. The kids, they can kind of go to school for a long time. This is going to be great. It's going to be great for the entire family. There's something here for everybody. Yeah. As he spends more time in the pool as part of his therapy, Ray's illness seems to go into remission. So he starts to heal. However, his wife, Eve, becomes concerned at the changes that she's seeing in her husband and their children, Izzy and Elliot, each report being attacked by something in the pool. During a party, the realtor tells Eve about the Fuller family matriarch, Rebecca, drowning in the pool. Shortly before, Ray seemingly forces a child underwater and almost drowns himself, although this is attributed to a side effect of his illness.
Yeah, it didn't sound like they believed that at all. Like they're like, no, did you not hear us? Don't come near my family. No, it's there's a lot to unpack there because a lot happened. Of course, we're summarizing a lot of this, but
absolutely,
it's interesting that the daughter doesn't want to say that there's a monster. Like, I guess the reason is just because she didn't want to move or something. But it's like in this universe, it's really easy to get. You had like a pick of the houses Like in today's time, you have to like buy it signed unseen.
Yeah.
And in this movie, you can just pick whatever house you want.
Yeah, I guess that's what that was the part I was going into. I was like, why are they driving around looking for houses? Like everybody looks at them on the internet now. You know, you don't drive around looking for. I don't know. Anyway, so like, and it leaves out that the first real attack actually is on the mom, right? Because they start out and they're all in the pool and everything's gravy. They're just out there hanging out. People are, he's hanging out with his kids and all this stuff. And they try, the movie like establishes that the boy doesn't live up to his dad's expectations, but then that never comes full circle. You know what I mean? He's over there looking at his dad, and he's like, "I'm never going to be a baseball." Yeah, it kind of alludes to that, but it never comes full circle. I don't know, right? Like it's kind of a pointless.
Right. And even when the dad is getting his mojo back, it's almost like the kid either looks jealous of him or he's like suspicious or something.
Yeah. Well, he kind of pours it on to either his sister or he pours it on to the more talented kid at the high school that he's helping coach.
Hey, the world needs ditch diggers too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this kid's not going to be a baseball star.
Chris,
I'm sorry, Tony.
But the mom,
this movie sucked.
The mom goes for a little swim. Something happens to her. She's underwater and she sees somebody that looks like her husband standing around the rim of the pool. So she has like a bad experience. She gets out and she's a little leery at that point. She goes up, "Were you outside?" And he's like, "No, I just woke up from a nap." All this stuff. So something happens to everybody. The dad is the only one who's like kind of like, "This is the best thing." He's like kind of gung ho about the pool because the pool's like, helping him in big ways.
It's almost like this movie was like, let's pull some of this from Amityville Horror.
Yeah.
And let's pull some of this from Major League. And
there's a lot of there's a lot of all this like kind of stolen from a lot of places. Even though the swimming pool thing, I don't think is other than Are You Afraid of the Dark? That episode has been done. I used to be scared because of the Are You Afraid of the Dark episode. That episode really freaked me out.
The monster in that thing is nuts. And let's expand upon that a little bit.
Yeah.
You could make the center point about the pool, right? Like this is just something happened early on. This family moved in and they see benefits, blah, 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 Amityville Horror copy. Yeah. But like if you centered it around why the pool is the way it is,
yes,
you could have maybe done a little bit more with it. Kind of like Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
Like you don't know why the people and the animals come back, but then they go and they figure out that it's an Indian burial ground and blah, blah, blah. So you could have done something like that.
Yeah.
But then we'd probably just be saying it's a copy of Pet Sematary.
It's almost like this movie didn't know what it was, really. I mean, because it's focusing on that drain, and there's like black water down in that drain, almost like there's an evil down in that drain, but then the pools, and I don't know. I really still don't know, and I watched the movie. I sit through the whole damn thing, and I have no idea what it was.
I think they drained it and then like filled it back up like 5 different times, and you're like, and then they go out and buy this pool cover and they use it one freaking time.
Yeah. But when you see the pool cover, you're like, why? This is going to trap you in later. That's what I was saying. I was just like, this is going to trap you under it later. Anyway, they throw a big pool party, and like the mom's like, okay, well, this is good. We're putting down roots. People are going to come over. The girl is like, oh, my friends from high school can come over. We can be the cool family. The dad's thinking the same thing. So this is like working out well, but all of a sudden, like we said, the dad, who's feeling much better after swimming, looks to this kid who he's been helping coaching the high school baseball team. He looks to this kid and he's like, I think we can beat these this other couple, this other dad and son at what is it? Chicken? Is it where you put somebody on your shoulder? Is it chicken?
That sounds right.
Something like that. I don't know. Like, whatever you do when you have somebody on your shoulders, you fight them. So anyway, so he does that and they win, but then he like really bears down on the kid's thighs Like he holds him really tight, and then he goes to the deep
Yeah.
end and almost drowns this kid. And the whole party stops. Everybody freaks out. People are jumping in the pool and all this. And the kid's like, he was holding me. He wouldn't let go. And then the mom is like, no, it's just part of his illness. He has MS. And then that family's like, don't ever come around the school or my kid ever again.
Yeah. And it's strange that the one person who saw that happen was the one guy who was not at the pool with the 50 other people. You know, he was the kid in the house looking out the window, and he spots it.
Yeah.
But everybody else around him is not seeing it.
Yeah. So the young son, he went up to his room and he's like, I'm not swimming. I'm just going to videotape this whole thing on this old ass camera. And instead of like a cell phone or anything like that. But so he just has his camera on this pool waiting for some evil to happen so he can like prove it. And so he's the one that sees his dad drowning one of these kids. Tracking down the Fuller family after learning that there is a long history of disappearances in the house, Eve meets with Kay, Rebecca's mother. Kay is living in this like mansion, right? Kay explains that the water that now sustains the pool was once part of a healing spring, but in order to use the water, someone else must be essentially sacrificed to it. Kay was compelled to sacrifice Rebecca to the pool creature to heal her brother Tommy's illness. Eve is horrified to realize that Ray is now being healed by the pool, but it will take Elliot as a sacrifice.
Dang. I remember you looking over at me and you said, if they go to a library and scroll through old newspapers to find out what's wrong with this pool, I'm done. And then they did it. And then you're like, if they get in a car and track down of why this thing is happening, if they track down the person, like we're out of here.
Yeah,
and sure
like,
enough, Tony,
you could see this from a mile away. You're just like, I was just like, is this like introductory horror film 101 or something like that? That's what it felt very like. I felt very spoon fed. I felt like I was in elementary class.
It was holding your hand.
Yeah. I don't know. It just,
I mean, honestly, Kay's, that lady, her CGI was like the coolest part. I mean, for me, I mean, I know it was CGI, but it just looked creepy.
Yeah.
But that's all I can give this movie is you did CGI on a lady, and I'm not sure why, because she's not near the pool anymore.
Yeah. But
how does that work?
So let's, I mean, again, look at another PG-13 horror film, The Ring. She ends up in the library. She's looking for, same thing. The difference is the kills are ridiculous. Do you remember that girl in the closet? I saw her face, and I mean, it looked awful. Not only that,
I still see that.
I still see that face when I close my eyes. The video from The Ring was scary. I mean, it holds up. Go watch that video right now with the freaking maggots and the horse eye and all that shit. It's going to scare you. It's going to scare the crap out of you. That's what makes that horror film nuts. She can go, that's going to make you go to the library. That's all. But the scary elements of this are goosebumps. They are freaking, Are You Afraid of the Dark? It is like, it's like a bottle rocket when you're expecting a fireworks show. I mean, it is just like, it's such a letdown.
I wonder if we maybe got a little too excited, if we're like, here we go, we're going to see, here we go, man, it's going to be awesome. I'm excited. And then we get dealt this hand.
I still had fun.
And we're like, ugh.
I'm going to be like, I love going to the movie theater. I love I love the whole just experience of it all. So I had fun. And like sitting there, even if we're sitting there like making motions and yawning and just side-eyeing, to me it's fun. Right. I would just recommend anybody go watch crappy movies. Go watch good movies. Go watch really good movies. I just like the movie theater. I think is amazing. I think I am all about it. I thought it was a fun experience, even though it sucked. Yeah, I mean the movie was terrible. Yeah. Eve returns to the house. She finds that Ray is being controlled by the entity.
Oh no!
It traps Elliot in the pool. Eve tries to save her son, while Izzy confronts the entity possessing her father. So again, so I'm gonna stop it there. So Eve tries to save her son. You said that this family can breathe up to 10 minutes underwater. How long does Eve breathe underwater? She takes one little swig off a hose pipe that she's sitting there for a minute, and this 10-foot pool turns into a 100-foot abyss. I don't know. It's weird.
It's very strange. And like every time you see a demon or the ghost or the entity, it's a different freaking thing.
Yeah. And I don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
Like she said
she sacrificed people.
She said the water, but then she also said, a well when you throw the money in and you make a wish. But I guess this water, it needs some type of sacrifice. I thought you could just throw some. Can you just throw $1 in there? Can you just throw like a coin? I don't get it. I don't get it, Chris. I don't understand. Why is it evil?
It needs blood.
I almost I would rather not know that it was like the water well, whatever thing. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's got to explain itself somehow. It just didn't execute it right.
Yeah, so her son, why is he in the pool?
He was going to save the deceased cat because the
cat
he
was
saw
meowing.
The shadow on the float, and you could hear the cat meow.
Gotcha. So
the pool will give you glimpses or sounds or sights of something that you want.
Now I remember. Okay, so he goes downstairs trying to save the cat. The cat's been missing, obviously, and he gets pushed in or pulled in or falls in, whatever. And then so the mom comes and tries to save him. So she jumps in, and again, she brings the hose pipe with her. Because it's deep, and she's like going into the drain. The drain's now enough to it can encompass like a full adult human being.
Yeah, smart.
And then Ray is going ape crap. He's going ape shit. He's full on like, I guess the Shining, but not like a G-rated Disney version of the.
Well, the worst part of that is when he goes, she runs off, and he looks at the camera.
Chris, don't say it. Don't say it.
Okay.
No, say it. Say it. He's looking for his daughter. He says Marco. Like Marco. Because they're in a pool. You get it?
So bad.
He's running around the house. He's like, he's got the demon thing in him. And he's like, Marco. And then he jumped. He sees her, and then he goes, You're supposed to say Polo.
So stupid. I think we were audibly laughing while there was like people in front of us trying to watch the movie.
Which we shushed.
We shushed.
There was like a group of dudes that like were like in there talking and stuff, and we shushed. I legitimately, when they were walking out, I want to say, I'm sorry for shushing you during this horrible movie. I wanted to apologize because they should be talking during this whole thing. Anyway, her father eventually assaulting him with a baseball bat. Just picks up his baseball bat and hits him. Eve manages to retrieve Elliot and is guided to the surface of the pool by Rebecca's spirit, the little girl from the beginning, y'all. She came and she's like, I'm going to show you the entrance where you came from. She has a coin and she like hits it and the light hits it. It's horrible. It's terrible.
It circles the bases. It's a home run. It brings it all back around.
It really, it's everything that you want. She really hits a grand slam here with this. Once back in the garden, Izzy's assault and Elliot's condition help Ray regain control of himself. He starts throwing up this black stuff, I guess the evil, to stop the entity attacking his children. Ray goes ahead and he just sacrifices himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We laughed at the Marco Polo thing. It was, you're just kind of like, okay, whatever.
To say polo.
You're supposed to. Do you think you could say polo?
Do you think you can say polo any softer than that? Okay, that's horrible.
That's from our Black Phone podcast. You should go check that out because that's a much better movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Deciding to remain in the house so that no one else falls victim to the entity, Eve, Izzy, and Elliot make arrangements for the pool to be filled up to stop such a thing from happening again. And they are just, I mean, right there at that ending scene, they are so just like sad about their dad dying, right?
Yeah, you could see where they had been crying, I think.
No.
Or no, you
Not
can't,
at all.
can you?
Not at all. No sympathy. No, just like, I mean, nothing. Dad's dead, but let's fill
He
this
wouldn't
pool
want us to
up.
move.
He wouldn't want us to move. Let's party. She gets remarried, I'm sure, in a couple of weeks, and everything's fine. But anyway.
Yeah. Well,
A lot of good movies coming up. We got The Invisible Man
Invisible Man
from 2020.
Where Evil Lurks.
Where Evil Lurks. These are good
I'm
movies.
sorry, when Evil Lurks.
Not Where Evil Lurks.
That's right.
That's what I keep saying.
Saw X.
When Saw X. These are good movies. Okay, so
They're all coming up.
We don't do just crappy movies. We do them all. Okay, so tune in and yeah, all that good stuff.